What's up, Capricorn? So we got a card pulled from the Herbal Astrology Oracle deck, and then we go into the actual reading. Alright? And this card is Reishi with the subtext of retreat. Retreat, recovery, meditation, hibernation, spiritual contemplation, replenishment of spirit. Called Lingzi in Chinese, Reishi represents immortality and is considered the herb of spiritual potency, meaning success, well-being, divine power, and longevity. Said to have been discovered in the 396 BC in the Shanghai Mountains of China by Taoist monks, it is one of the oldest mushrooms used in medicine. It has long been called anti-aging mushroom and powerful Shin tonic, a category of medicines that nourish the spirit. In China's oldest Materia Medica, the herbal classic written around 200 CE, Reishi held first place above ginseng. The text says Reishi helps stabilize qi in the head and assist in mental activities, tonifies the spleen, increases wisdom, and improves memory. Long-term consumption will lighten the body, increase vitality, and delay aging for years. Reishi's borderline miraculous properties are being researched, verifying ancient knowledge, including how the mushroom profoundly relaxes the nervous system, calms the mind, and induces a state of relaxed focus. One of the many reasons spiritual seekers consume this mushroom is for the spiritual experience it unlocks when in meditation. Recent studies have also demonstrated measurable life-extending properties, as well as Reishi's ability to activate brain neurons and increase nerve growth factor level and nerve growth factor levels in cells. Reishi powerfully influences our main spiritual centers, the endocrine, nervous, and hormonal system. Hormones powerfully impact our perception, mood, sleep and wake cycles, ability to bond with others, awareness of reality. They activate the nervous system, which is also directly related to igniting mystical experiences. Reishi is ruled by Jupiter, the guru of planets, the one that dictates how we derive wisdom and access the mysteries of life. Jupiter has a vast quantity of spirit-enhancing herbs that are often used in meditation to induce altered states of meditation like Reishi. This is the guidance portion. Pause. It's time for a renewal. If you are overwhelmed or mentally overloaded, it's time to retreat. Take the time to recuperate and recharge, and personal growth will follow. Overstimulation and personal growth will follow. Overstimulation and indecision lead to a sense of weakness, imprisonment, and feeling like that you are evading death. Like bear, hibernate or rest before you take on the next project or challenge. Many Native American tribes have called this space of inner contemplation the Dream Lodge, a place to witness death and see beyond the confines of physical reality, visiting the dream time. Create the space to be in silence and calm the internet chatter. Reflection is key to the path of self-mastery. This is very interesting for a few reasons. One, I kind of have like a history with Reishi in general, but two, this idea of all the benefits that you get out of Reishi, right? The actual perceived benefits, but it's also linked to the spiritual as well in terms of the ki. I'm sorry, the energetics of things, right? In terms of the Chinese medicine. But this is like, in terms of reishi, we have this mystical plant that does all these things and has all these benefits. But it seems to require a level of patience, a level of understanding that, hey, I really do need to restore the energetic levels in order to do the best I can and produce what I'm really here to do. And it seems like being able to kind of replenish the spirit it can almost like there's like I'm just kind of an understanding, but I haven't, I'm not completely sold on this idea, but it almost seems like the spiritual vitality, the reinvigoration of ki energy gives someone the ability to pursue things and act in a way that prolongs and really protects for a longer period of time. So it preserves the body, it preserves the self through the idea of really elevating the ki levels or reinvigorating ki levels to start and do things that match the spirit, very interesting, and it's just kind of a rift that was more of a rift rather than something that I'm like really deeply set on, I'll say. But this idea of focus, relaxed focus, is tremendous, right? We want to be relaxed. We want to be able to do things from a level of simply being, comfortable in our position. Not to say that relax isn't lazy. I'm talking about relax is in able to focus, like able to genuinely focus, not necessarily having to all the time force yourself to focus. I know there are going to be times, but it doesn't have to be all of the time, right? It does have to, in terms of a relaxed focus, I feel like that's when you get most bang for buck in terms of the time spent versus what you get out of it. But also this idea of also being able to really move in a way that helps you see past the here and now, right? That's very important, and this is we're talking about the gifts of actually life itself, right? We don't want to be in a state to where we're constantly, we're on autopilot in a way to where our we'll say our energetic imprint isn't necessarily guiding us in terms of doing the things that it can do, like for instance collecting the background noise to, for instance, let's say we get a thought and we forget it, right? Or we get a thought and it could help us in the future, but we just forget it because we really feel like we really are not necessarily thinking in the best light in terms of we don't have the rest. We're not replenished. That could be a very real issue. And thinking about hibernation and what it does and what we can do when we wake up from a hibernation, this is we need to understand what it means to really rest, because there is a concept of rest in general where basically we see it as important. We even have research about how important it is, but we haven't quite developed an understanding in terms of that translates to our societal operation, right? We know it's important, but we haven't created a life, basically tried to formulate and society around this idea of sleep being so important. That's going to be up to us. That's going to be up to the people to do that, And another thing is like, if you guys are maybe like having this concept of particularly this one quote sticks out: create the space to be in silence and calm the internet chatter. You can look into concepts like, for instance, de-googling your phone, particularly if you have a Google Pixel, but also just getting off of social media, right? Detoxing, having a social media detox. And I'll be honest, like, I've been off Facebook for I don't even know how long. It's been over 5 years now that I've been off of Facebook, and I got off of I also like stopped like going to this website that was like really toxic, because it was just like a whole bunch of videos that were just not helpful in any way in my case. But you can start to kind of pick apart what is really, really filling your background noise and causing you genuine harm to be a part of. So definitely think about this and try to form the world that makes more sense for you, and more sense for your energy levels as well. So with that being said, thank you for listening, but also please remember to like and subscribe or like the video and subscribe if you'd like. Really would help the channel grow. And in any case, I'll see you next week.